What's going on, Wastelanders? It's time for the finale of our miniseries. And just gonna say right off the bat, I did break the trend. Since I originally planned this miniseries as one that would entail us going as fast as possible, I had the idea of a female courier in my head for all 4 runs. This time I changed it up. And I'm actually pretty proud of the idea for the character we're playing as in this run because we see him a lot here on this channel. And also, although we're playing as a character, we're going to be using a similar special allocation and the same rules, which we'll go over here in a second, just to be consistent and fair. Now, do you have a guess as to who we're playing as? Well, here's their inventory. I'll give you a minute while we get our early shopping out of the way. Now, of course, as a male character, there's no Black Widow option for Benny. However, we can still have the Legion do away with him. We did so in our last run during our House Pacifist run, and we can do something similar this time around as well. All said and done, we can go ahead and hit up Sunny Smiles in the Prospector Saloon, because just like in Faction Warriors, we do need that Locksmith Reader's Guide, but for a different reason. And while we're at it, might as well go ahead and take all the Sunset Sarsaparilla that we can. That's been super clutch for this series, because it's nice to have an item hotkey that's a heal over time, and it's like 2 HP every 25 seconds, 2 HP every second for 25 seconds. And our character is Georgie boy. Oh yeah. I actually have his apparel saved on my hard drive because I do have something pretty fun planned for him in the future. So I took another look at it and I was like, my god, this is the perfect time I can do a Fallout New Vegas run as Georgie boy. And without any bonus stipulations like makeshift giving him a weapon or something. No, we're playing as Georgie boy minus the special allocation. Pretty much beat for beat. And as you can see, he's really not having the best time here in Good Springs. I mean, that's what you get for trying to snag Sunset Sarsaparilla. I think that's him just being upset because we keep stealing his 427 bottle caps. But Georgie boy, you should be taking that on me, good old Rosador here at Midlothian Odyssey. Now with our little reveal out of the way, let's go over the rules, refresher, or in case you're new here and this is your first episode, in which case, welcome, love to see your beautiful face. The rules are fairly standard. We're not allowed to engage in combat under any circumstances. We cannot directly deal damage. And of course that means that we're not allowed to make use of companions for fighting for us, because while that technically doesn't break the rule, I feel like that's very much against the spirit of this type of challenge. Also, it wouldn't be that entertaining. In stark contrast, however, we are allowed to wear whatever we want, and because I did console command in Georgie boy's pre-war relaxed wear and his little hat, that's what we're going to be rolling with for most of the run here. I can change it up if I like, and when we get the rebreather, I'll probably slap that on him too, just for a bit of DT. The only way we're allowed to gain experience points in these runs is by exploring or by doing quests, and there are only so many quests that we can do without engaging in combat. Now, I am allowed to use quest items to take out enemies because I don't count that as us being the ones to deal damage. That's why I say directly dealing damage. And while we're not allowed to use companions, in case we do need a companion to complete a quest, like back in the Caesar's Legion run. In a Legion run, we wanted the White Glove Society on our side, and by doing so, we have to side with Mortimer, which means giving up a companion we don't need in these runs anyway. Likewise, we are allowed to complete a companion quest because it does give experience points, and as long as we're not the ones attacking anything, like in Boone's quest where he dome shots Jeannie Mae, he's the one who kills her and we don't get experience points for it because he's not in our party at the time. That's okay. Last but not least, we have to complete the run by siding with our respective faction. That's Yes Man in this case, and I know what you're thinking, that we can just ignore all of the other factions and just get through this, but we're not doing that. I already do that in Faction Warriors for our Fallout New Vegas runs, and I want to change things up a bit. I want to really have some fun with this independent run, especially because it's the last of our 4-episode miniseries. So to recap, we're not allowed to attack in combat, cannot directly deal damage. We can wear whatever we want. We're not allowed to use companions unless we need them to advance in the story. And for the Yes Man route, we don't need that. So basically, if we want to do like Boone's Quest or something, we can. But other than stuff like that, no companions. If for some reason I accidentally gain experience points, I will undo that with the use of a console command. And we have to complete the game by siding with Yes Man. And not only that, we're not allowed to ignore. Now, if we do want to leave a faction alone, like say the Great Khans or something, we still have to do their quest in order to get that option from Yes Man. But we're not allowed to just go up to Yes Man and immediately skip the quests. And hey, perfect timing to segue right in. Georgie boy is backpedaling, something he would never do if he was playing a hunter in World of Warcraft. Back to First Sergeant Astor's squad where he takes him out. We go to Cottonwood Cove, plant the bug, all that good stuff. Go back to Sergeant Astor, get a nice little shot in the arm experience points all the way to level 3. And I just had to leave this part in. We explore the 188 trading post, and it's just enough experience points to level up. We hit level 4, and at level 4 in these runs, we always take Educated immediately, because the more skill points we have, the better. You know, I actually had designs on calling this the Skill Monkey Challenge, but once I realized people who don't play Dungeons & Dragons wouldn't get the reference. Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, or whatever. Basically, a Skill Monkey is a character who excels at the use of different skills. Typically, your Rogue or your Bard will be that. And then I was thinking Mediator from Final Fantasy Tactics, but I was like, nah, that's obscure too. Oh, right, as we go ahead and clear this little part with Jessup here, because we're not allowed to attack, I went ahead and banned blocking as well, blocking with like a melee weapon or something. Well, that doesn't deal damage, it just kind of feels weird having a weapon, and the only time we're ever going to really have a weapon is when we use Loyal's Detonator, and that's to fulfill a quest. And I figure, while we're somewhat in the area here, we can go ahead and have Lieutenant Gorobitz and the 1st Recon take out Driver Nephi for us. Now, this is always a solid option to take in casual play, but there's actually a strategic reason for us doing this. I mean, of course, we get a ton of bottle caps, 300 from Gorobitz, and then 250 if the head of Driver Nephi remains intact, plus some loot from the Fiends and stuff. But by taking out Driver Nephi, courtesy of our 1st Recon little protection squad here, it clears the way, and then later on we can fast travel back to Samson, make our way west, narrowly avoid Violet's part of the Outer Vegas ruins, and make our way to Red Rock Canyon. Speaking of Driver Nephi, he's real hot on our trail here. Now, he is faster than us, but because he has to stop and swing, I'm guessing that the AI can't do the lunging swings that we can. He's never actually going to hit us. Now, since the 1st Recon are the ones attacking Nephi, it's really a 50-50 chance on whether or not his head will be mangled or not, and just like with the other runs we've done up to this point, it's in good condition. That's a real stroke of good luck, I gotta say. So we'll go to the Good Lieutenant, get our 300 bottle caps, head to Major Daughtry, get our XP and our 250 caps, and we're gonna head back to Cottonwood. Now, our lockpick is currently 30, but because we hit level 6 and took Comprehension, the magazine buff goes to plus 20 from plus 10, and in order to unleash this nice little plot device here, we need 50 lockpicks, so go ahead, open that up. This is what we need the Locksmith Reader's Guide from Sunny Smiles for. Definitely coming back and looting this place later on, but first, go to the good 1st Sergeant Astor, turn in the quest, finish up here, get even more XP, NCR fame, all that good stuff. Now, check out this clutch timing. As we're back in Novac, we just got the quest from Boone, and wouldn't you know it, the culprit is about to open up shop. Well, not today. I already busted open the safe that had Jeannie Mae Crawford's bill of sale, so yeah, all we gotta do is take her down, and then Boone gets some nice free target practice, one-time use. Just a reminder, this does not violate our rules because we are not the one dealing damage here. Boone kills Jeannie Mae Crawford in one hit, and we don't touch her. I think there was only one run here in our Pacifist miniseries where I didn't do this, and it's always worth doing anyway, just because you get a little bit of experience points, you get a few bottle caps, that'll help you out. And of course, Boone is one of the most awesome companions in the game, but our time with him is at an end. Onward to Red Rock Canyon, time to break up some shenanigans between the Great Khans and Caesar's Legion. And now for Oh My Papa, Papa Khan has 4 advisors whom he trusts a great deal, and you have to persuade all of them that it's a bad idea for the Khans to ally with Caesar. Now, if we had a speech check of 75 or higher, we could just speech check Carl, but I don't have the last one just yet, so gonna go ahead and grab his journal, which does detail his inner thoughts about the Great Khans. That's not something I'd be bringing along on one of my journeys, especially if I'm hanging out with the people I'm trying to persuade to join our cause, but, I mean, I'm not the Frumentari here, so what do I know? We do have the speech check to convince Jack and Diane, though, so we knocked out 2 right there. Now, at this point, we are liked by the NCR. We did the little chain with Sealoose and then Ronald Curtis, which we did in the last run as well. That's why I kind of just glossed over it. And I'm going to give a minor spoiler for this run. I never actually go to Freeside, therefore I don't have the strip on my fast travel point. I didn't mean to do that. I just thought that was kind of interesting, just going to McCarran to get into the strip. I feel like it's a little bit more convenient anyway. At any rate, with our 35 barter check, 30 plus our hats bonus, we can get 500 caps and 250 tops chips off of Benny because he wants to work with us, allegedly. Kind of a shame that's not an option, really. We save ourselves from an ambush by passing a speed check of 35 and 50, and then we will not see Benny again until we go to Fortification Hill. Now, we're not done here on the tops just yet because we have to go to Yes Man, talk to him, and this is actually really great because we can ask him about the tribes we need to get to know. Inquiring about the Great Khans, the Boomers and Nellis, and the Brotherhood if you haven't found their locations on the map, it'll go ahead and mark those for you. The ones I really want here are the Brotherhood, so we can just go straight to them. We won't need Veronica. And the Emeritus to unlock how little we know. Now, we haven't interacted with the White Glove Society since our Caesar's Legion pacifist run. Yeah, doesn't that sound funny to hear? Going independent, we can't ignore them, but we're not doing that this run. So I'm thinking this time, we're going to try to do this without dealing damage, while siding with Marjorie and purging the White Glove of cannibalism. But before that, we're going to head outside, talk to Walter Phoebus, talk to his wife, pass that speech check because now we have it, and get a ton of experience points for that. Now, by siding with Marjorie, we have to investigate a disappearance because, well, someone's gone missing before, and Marjorie is all about reputation. I mean, the other casinos are as well, but the people here at the Ultra-Luxe are a whole different beast when it comes to prestige. As we head over to our man Mortimer, we're going to inquire about the investigator. He lets us know where the investigator was last staying, and, well, we're in for a little bit of a surprise here. It turns out that the missing investigator is... audible gasp. Ted. He was killed by some White Gloves, apparently, and 2 assassins. I guess that's how that works here. Dress Canes as assassination? Yeah, alright, cool. They try to come kill us, but they don't have the powers of pacifism coursing through their veins. All we gotta do is just leave the casino, and we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. After waiting 1 hour, we're gonna head back inside to continue our investigation, and at 4 p.m., because we do more waiting, in a steam room, because that's healthy, we meet up with this dude named Chauncey, and he says that Mortimer is behind all the shenanigans regarding cannibalism. I mean, that's cool and all, but then some guy shows up, shoots Chauncey in the knee with something that's not an arrow, and then we have to flee the casino once again. Now, unlike with the 2 goons that Mortimer sends after us, the guy named Assassin, he will track us down, but he will never leave the casino, so we will periodically have to leave in case he does see us. But we have to stop for now because we need some reputation in the strip before Marjorie will allow us to become an honorary member of the White Glove. So let's go ahead and get some reputation by cleaning out Big Sal and Nero, shall we? Now, because I passed an 80 speech check with Caccino, he's actually going to back us this time. And of course, the 80 speech check convinces Big Sal that Nero was plotting against him should we choose to follow up that speech option. And I have to say, this is the absolute cleanest this has ever gone. Big Sal gets taken out by Nero, and Caccino just straight up wastes Nero, so back to the White Gloves. Now, we need to rescue Het Gunderson's son, Ted, and Philippe, we have to deal with him. We only ever see him in the Marjorie route, and there's a couple of ways that we can deal with him. I mean, of course, killing him's off the table, since we're not allowed to deal damage. But we do have a speech check that will allow us to convince him that there's a rat, or it's probably Steve from the Roach King run, just chilling out at his pantry. So all we gotta do is follow him, and then shut the door when he's inside, hit up the terminal, lock it, he's upset. Although now we are starting to get tracked by that assassin, we are in caution, so gonna head back outside, and then we'll rescue Ted. Actually, no, pardon me, we're gonna spike the wine with some Med-X, and then we're gonna go back outside because we're being tracked again. And now we're going to get Ted out of here. All we gotta do is make sure that the White Glove waiter who's coming to pick up the wine doesn't spot us with Ted, and once we know that he is well and truly gone, we can go ahead and sneak our way out. And alrighty, coast is looking mad clear, so we're gonna go ahead and make the mother of all mad dashes for the exit. Well, by exit, I mean the center room where Het Gunderson is, so that we can turn his son over to him, and we can get paid handsomely. I have to say, I'm not sure how spiking wine has cured the White Gloves of its cannibalism problem. Maybe it purged all those prions out of Mortimer's mouth. We do tell Heck what was up, but we're able to convince him not to, go through with what he wanted to do to the strip. That's 2 down. Next up is the Brotherhood of Steel, and things don't start off so great, because turns out that I fast-traveled here just when the patrol was right by the entrance, so that's fun. So we're gonna go ahead and open up our Pit-Boy and start chowing down on some food and drink. That's always a great idea, especially when you're being chased by guys with massive laser weapons. And I thought we were gonna get attacked by the Brotherhood guys who hold you up, because the guys outside were chasing us, but no, that doesn't happen. I was gonna play this up as a funny gag, so I was actually very surprised to see this. We'll go ahead and agree to McNamara's, request here. Make our way down into the opposing bunker. Now, one thing that was cool here is that because the Brotherhood patrol was so close, I could use them to kill off the bark scorpions that aggroed us. But anyway, Ranger Dobson here, we have the speech check of 35 and 50 to bypass this encounter here, and all of it is done in a way that pleases McNamara. Now, we're not going to blow up the Brotherhood this time because we always do, I figure, you know what, this time for the first time on this show, let's go ahead and help out Head Paladin Hardin here. Basically, the Brotherhood of Steel here in the Mojave chapter has been on lockdown ever since their defeat at Helios 1. McNamara had brought the survivors here and bunkered down. High quality puns here on Midlothian Odyssey. Only a select few individuals are allowed to enter and exit the bunker, much to Head Paladin Hardin's chagrin, and that's perfectly understandable considering that the Brotherhood isn't doing so hot right now. And McNamara, though he means well, is being a bit too secretive. Hardin generally likes and respects McNamara, but has a real problem with his leadership, so we're gonna have us a little change in management as well. To start things off here, we need to help Scribe Ibsen here with isolating a pre-war virus. Now, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but it pretty much just comes down to luck as to which computer, which terminal the virus happens to be on. And if that is the case, I have to say we get pretty lucky this time around. Because as we knock out the second one, we got one more left, and we literally have less than 10 seconds. We end up getting the final one on the terminal, right when we would have needed to restart, so that was lucky. From there we go to Paladin Ramos, learn about something called the Change That Bind, which is the backbone of the command structure of the Brotherhood of Steel. The short version is that scribes can only command scribes, and because McNamara was a scribe before becoming Elder, he gives orders to Head Scribe Taggart, who gives orders to his scribes. Head Paladin Hardin gives orders to the Paladins, and I believe the Knights as well. But we're going to need more evidence to help out Hardin here, and we need to do McNamara's first quest, which is to locate 3 holotapes from some missing Brotherhood of Steel patrols. The first one is pretty close to Hidden Valley. It's just a bit a ways east here, and it's in this little crater surrounded by centaurs, the least threatening enemies in all of Fallout. Seriously, I never found those things creepy. I know a lot of people do, but not me. I have a bit of a derpy moment here. I go to open my pit way, I'm like, oh, sweet, time to fast travel. I guess I'll go to Novac, only to realize I'm surrounded and you can't fast travel with enemies nearby. So we're gonna get some distance and go get our second one, which is located in good old Recon. If your lockpick is low, just talk to the tour robot. He'll guide you through. He'll open that door for you because the planetarium is the last part of it, because you want to get Jenny Millett's little ID card that gives you free reign of the second floor. Now, on the third floor, we just need to find the Brotherhood corpse, which contains the holotape. We do get spotted by the little robot, but it doesn't matter since we were leaving anyway. That power armor is going to sell pretty nice later on, won't it? Now, the third one is up near Nellis, and we have to clear their stuff out anyway, so we're going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Next up is Nellis Air Force Base. It's a little bit of a hike from where we are, but no big deal. Always enjoy the scenery. And as always, make sure you pick up your pressure cooker here just in case your science skill isn't on par for what Jack needs. And, well, there's a stealth boy. That's pretty awesome, actually. I was going to go over to the Repcon east of Novac, or is it west? I forget. And get the stealth boys from the safe in there, but we don't need to now. And because we are playing as Georgie Boy, we're gonna do the run through the Nellis artillery strike field itself. Maybe that's why he's been so stubborn throughout this entire mini-series. He knew that his turn was coming. And I figured, just like last time, I'll go ahead and do the little medicine quest for the doctor here, Argyle. Now, Georgie Boy does not have a 60 in medicine. Right now it's 50. However, we do have a today's physician on hand just for such an occasion, just for this quest, actually. There's usually one in Dr. Usanagi's inventory, and that's where I got mine. And while we're here, might as well go ahead and clear out good old Aunt Misbehavin'. And we can do that by using a sonic emitter from Loyal, which we get from him by passing either a 50 science or 50 speech check. Now, all of the ants in here are about to die. However, we're not the ones dealing damage. It's the sonic emitter we place. We are not directly dealing damage, so that is not breaking our rule. It's using a quest item to get through a part of a challenge here. Just because I can't damage stuff doesn't mean I can't look for ways to kill it. So we'll go ahead and hit up Rockwell, let her know what's up, and all the while go ahead and turn in some missiles. We turn in 10, and that's just enough to get us to idolize with the boomers. Normally we'd go straight to the B-29 underwater, but we still have to go get that last holotape from that Brotherhood corpse, and that's pretty close by. And we just go over the river through some woods, find the Brotherhood of Steel Paladin body, there's that third one. Now off to the crashed B-29, and this time around we're not going to Camp Golf, we're going to go to some little abandoned campsite, a good spot to go if you're doing a Legion run or something, or are otherwise hated by the NCR and maybe have a hit squad after you or something. Now this route is pretty safe as well because the lake lurks aren't really close to where you'll be getting in the water. And not only that, but as you submerge and start making your way over, you're going to see a crashed truck, and if you're ever out of Sunset Sarsaparilla, that's the place to get it. It's just kind of floating there waiting for someone to get it. So we're going to go ahead and attach the ballasts, all that good stuff, make our way on over to the ramp overlooking Callaway Bay. This time, I don't have 2 loyal detonators on me, thankfully. And because we're playing as Georgie Boy and have to send someone through the artillery strike field, let's go do Jack's quest, shall we? You know what I like about this is that you can lie to Janet, and she just immediately runs up. But if you go through this the honest way and try to help her, you gotta convince Alice McClafferty to just let her go with her pay. I guess what Fallout New Vegas is trying to teach is that it pays to lie. We have finished the main Boomers quest, and all we have to do is hit up the Brotherhood and help out Hardin to overthrow McNamara. And yes, I did leave this part in just to show you that Young Hearts did fail. Well, Georgia Boy didn't fail, he won that gamble. And as we turn in the holotapes to Hardin here, this is proof that McNamara has broken the chains that bind, which is an offense severe enough to get him deposed as Elder. With Edgar Hardin now appointed as Elder, the lockdown here at Hidden Valley has been lifted, and we also get a cool save key, and we're accepted with the Brotherhood of Steel. I think both routes for the Brotherhood are perfectly fine, but this one's definitely better if you want to get this lifted quicker and get access to power armor training, and yeah, see, we're accepted. We haven't resolved things here at the Brotherhood since the 3-Dog New Vegas run. You should go check that one out, by the way. It's one of my favorite runs on this channel. Let's say, probably my second or my third favorite one that I've done so far. So we'll go ahead and chat up with our new buddy here, get our Brotherhood save key, and then it's up to complete some good old-fashioned filler because I want to do something new, and I like this little shortcut here. See, normally when you think of Black Mountain, you might not think that pacifism is the first course of action to take against Tabitha, leader of the, what does she call it, Utobitha? Well, we can do that, actually, and we're going to be snuck for as long as we possibly can be before we hit caution. Once we're into caution, we'll open up our pit boy, slap on a stealth boy, and make our way on down to a special robot. And now, just because our stealth boy is up, doesn't mean that we can just make a beeline for it. There are Nightkin here as well, who are also under the effects of a stealth boy, and the Super Mutant's perception seems to be pretty decent because we do hit caution a couple of times. Doesn't matter though, we make our way to the robot, our science is more than high enough to fix this thing. We will escort this good old Mr. Gutsy outside, and we will reunite it with Tabitha, who is super grateful for us repairing the robot. Well, she gives us something pretty cool, and then she heads off to wherever she's going. Yeah, I just felt like showing off Black Mountain and being able to clear it really fast. Now, here at Fortification Hill, we have yet to take out Mr. House. Don't worry, we're going to be doing that here in a bit. But because we have a pretty good science skill, we can go ahead and activate the terminals to shut down both the turrets and the protectrons. And although we don't need to, the door junction box here, always fun to have that little repair check passed because that's super useful if you're going about this quest the other way around. And yeah, the Securitron bunker is now completely free. We can loot whatever we want to in here, but we're not here to loot anything. We're just here to slap in that sweet platinum chip into the console. Kaisar believes us. I think there's something impairing his judgment, but hey, he's the dictator, not me. We get some XP from him, and now we get to decide what to do with Benny. Now, in our last run, we had crucified Benny, and that is a perfectly solid option because we're not allowed to fight him in the arena because that would be breaking the rules of our challenge, directly fighting, directly dealing damage, all that good stuff. And I ran out of Stealth Boy, so I can't just give him one. However, there is an option to do something pretty interesting here. We can untie Benny's hands. He's all hyped up. He's like, ring-a-ding, baby, I've got your back. Well, Benny, little did you know that Georgie Boy has rigged your game from the start, so good luck with that, buddy. And as for us, well, let's hope that we can get out of here in one piece. Although, will we actually be able to leave? Because, like, they should have the drawbridges closed and everything. And once I realized that they still have all the medicine they took off of us once we had to disarm, I'm like, oh goodness. I'm gonna have to rebuy all my stim packs and my super stim packs, my med-X, my doctor's bag. That's actually kind of cool. But then I open up my pit boy, I'm like, oh, the doctor's bag's there. I could have sworn those got taken away, but whatever. Getting to the front half of the fort is a lot less stressful because there is the instructor, but there's mostly just recruit legionaries out here throwing spears and using super poor condition weapons. And while I guess we are still able to access the drawbridge, that's awfully considerate of them. So we get out, and then equipment restored. You retrieve your confiscated equipment on your way out. How did that happen? What, did the guard just, like, slip it in my pocket while I was leaving? Man, that's so silly. I was so disappointed when I saw that, because I was like, man, I'm about to get punished hard, and I didn't mind it, because I got bottle caps. I could just buy them all back. But, like, even if you do that, you somehow get your equipment back? That's weak sauce, man. That doesn't make any sense. But hey, we got out scot-free. That was pretty cool. A nice new way to dispose of Benny, at least. The final loose end we have to tie up before we send Yes Man into the Lucky 38 is to take out the big man himself. Now, we have upgraded the Securitrons, but I guess the ones inside still aren't firing the grenade launchers and stuff at us. Like, shouldn't they be doing that already? Did I miss something? Oh well, I'm feeling brain dead, so I'll just shut off Mr. Houses. Oh, right, that's right, the Great Cons. We haven't dealt with them just yet either, so we have one more loose end to tie up here. And thankfully for us, we do have a stealth boy. I don't know why I said we didn't before. I guess I got that mixed up while I was going through here. Now, the reason why I was confused about that is because isn't it when you can untie his hands, you can give him a stealth boy? Like, I don't remember seeing that option, but whatever. Making our way to Melissa is a bit of a journey here, considering that her encampment is surrounded by death claws on the exterior. I'm pretty sure that's the real reason why she just hangs out where she is, because she knows that down at Quarry Junction, there are death claws. Outside, there are death claws. Yeah, just hang out here, no big deal. Now, although it's intense making our way over to her, there are no speech checks or anything that we need to do to convince her that Carl was full of crap. All said and done here, we're going to go ahead and continue on with the plot, and we're not going to ignore President Kimball because I'd like to not ignore that whenever possible. So we'll go ahead and protect the president, disarm the bomb, all that good stuff. Now, just so you know, Yes Man has the same reaction whether you ignore the Brotherhood or whether you tell him that you're familiar and on good terms with them. Because we did complete quests for them and install Elder Harden, I'm counting that as being okay with the rules that we've set here. And honestly, I just wanted to do something different with the Brotherhood for a change. Again, it's been quite a while since we've done something nice for them. But what's not nice for the NCR is hitting up Eldorado Substation, us planting in the override ship, and these guys can't gun down Georgia, boy. And we do lose a bit of reputation with them, but not enough to drop us or anything, because we can still go to Camp McCarran, we're just fine. And there's one more thing that we're going to do here, is that we're going to go ahead and fix up the, thank you, screen, the kitchen's food processor. We have 70 repair, but we do have a Fixin' Things magazine, so all we gotta do is apply that. Even without comprehension, we'd be able to match this check here. So we're able to fix it up, because, hey, Georgia boy feels like doing something nice, I guess. And we're able to fix some redundant coprocessors with little more than bobby pins, tape, and a Trooper Swiss Army knife. I'm gonna say the duct tape was the real important ingredient there. David King from Resident Evil Outbreak taught me that anything is possible with duct tape. Alright guys, we're chilling out with Yes Man here, getting ready for the final battle. Feeling pretty good about this one as well. Let's just hope that we can make it to the heavy troopers without dying. I say that because Georgia Boy isn't exactly known for being a tank. I've tested that quite extensively on my channel. Now, because we convinced the cons to make way for Wyoming, just like we did in the last run, we don't have to worry about them, so it's just the NCR Rangers and our Securitron buddy getting ready to square down with the Kenturians. Well, that would be the case, but our Securitron Mark II, I guess, glitched out because we upgraded his OS, so there probably are still some bugs to work out. With both Rangers gone, there's no fear of us slapping on that Prime Legionary disguise with the Prime helmet. I got that back from Cottonwood Cove. I told you we'd be looting that place like crazy. Georgia Boy, the Prime Legionary, baby. So we can skip the Kenturians and the Prime Legionaries, get inside, take off the Legion disguise, at least for a little while, because we do have to go to the Heavy Troopers and pass a 75 speech check with them. I will remind you that we have not met Colonel Moore in this run, so I don't know how we know her name. But I guess that just goes with the lying, because, well, we got lucky, I suppose, with a luck stat of 1. Now, en route to the switch, we're going to open up all the doors to let the NCR troopers flood out and fight the Legionaries for us. That way we can speed by them, but the Securitron's gonna get on in the action just a little bit. Now here at the door, gonna go ahead and slap our disguise back on, but we should put our roving trader hat back on. That way they know it's Georgia Boy. Now if I saw Georgia Boy coming towards me in a Legionary outfit, and if I were one of those Kenturians, I'd take my anti-material rifle and just take a shot, just to be sure. You can always tell Legate Lannis that he was defying orders. Georgia Boy feeling real high on life here, talks down Legate Lanius, and we have one more speech check to get through here. It is the one and the only speech check of 100 against General Lee Oliver to tell him that he's pretty much a wuss because he's just sitting here talking and not attacking like he's some kind of Shonen Jump anime villain. And Georgia Boy's feeling pretty generous right now, so to maintain our pacifistic streak here, we're going to order Yes Man to throw him off the dam. Take it away, Yes Man. And it's right around this time when Yes Man starts talking about upgrading his personality matrix. Georgia Boy's like, wait, I didn't say anything. I didn't say to do that. Who did? And then the bottle cap drops. Yes Man has not been listening to Georgia Boy. Yes Man has been listening to a mysterious third party, presumably Benny, but then Georgia Boy realizes that he threw Benny to the wolves back at Fortification Hill. No, Yes Man has been working for one Razador of Midlothian Odyssey this entire time, teaching Georgia Boy that the game was, in fact, rigged from the start. Hey man, we've gone 4 runs without taking out Georgia Boy, that despite my best efforts to the contrary. So, Razador here with his fancy checkered suit decided to clean things up for us. Order has been restored here in Midlothian Odyssey. I really hope that you guys enjoyed that run and had fun with this little mini-series. We're going to be going back to some standard challenges, but not before our 500 subscriber special. That's going to be a heck of a fun video. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I will see you back at the Wasteland.